Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's another daily video. And I got a strong message for you guys today. Yesterday's message was very short. I was just testing it out. But today I pulled about 6 cards and it's heavy. It's super heavy. I'm just going to jump right in. So the first card that I pulled out was the 6 of Wands. This message is a little darker. As you know, the veil is real thin right now. The month of October is leading up to All Hallows Eve, Halloween, the Day of the Dead, all of those very spiritual holidays coming up. And because of that, the veil between the physical world and the spiritual world are very thin. So if you're like myself, you work with spirits and things like that, you're feeling a lot of messages coming through, a lot of uploads and downloads, so to speak. I know last night I definitely had an upload because my memory was wiped in the morning. Like, I know I remembered it while I was dreaming it. I know that I had a power experience, but I cannot recall anything. Whereas the other day I had a dream and I can remember small details. So it's real out here. So if you are into spiritual stuff, this is the time. Make sure you're protected. Make sure that you are wearing your crystals if you believe in that. Make sure you are saging yourself. Make sure that you are just protected. Call on your ancestors. Set up your altar. Make sure you're feeding your ancestors. Whether if you don't have an altar, make sure you're calling them out during this time because a lot of stuff is able to come through, and you want to make sure that you're secure and protected. Now, of course, I'm not saying everything that comes through is evil or willing to cause you harm, but it's always better to be on the safe side, okay? And even if you are protected, that you'll be able to understand the message that the spirit is trying to convey to you is always important. So the first card, that 6 of Wands, it's a war. There is literally a war going on right now between the light and the dark. It's like a rebirthing period for a lot of people. And 8 of Swords, I pulled this for myself the other day. To see that little woman down there and the big woman, it's like it's death to your ego, death to your smaller self, and birth to your higher self. That priestess energy, that empress energy, that emperor energy, that king energy, however you want to put it. It's your higher self. When you're fully aware of everything about yourself and how to convey it to the world, that is scary. I mean, that isn't not scary. That's intense to a lot of people, and it scares them, the process. But honey, choose a side. And there's nothing wrong with lightness. There's nothing wrong with darkness. But a lot of times, the power lies in your darkness. You just have to harness it. Followed by this Prince of Pentacles energy. Whew, this is heavy. So I clarify with the Oracle cards. So this is, all right, if I can pick it up. Time. Time. The time is now. That's urgency. You don't have, if you're like myself, and I feel like this is mainly for people who have been wanting to experience the spiritual world, wanting to step into the spiritual world. You feel like you want to get into tarot, you feel like you want to get into oracle cards, you feel like there should be a certain practice you should be following. This is the time. October is the time. October and November. It's time to stop bullshitting. It's time to just go up, go to your local botanica or a cult shop or a metaphysical shop and just go in there. And I would say start with crystals. Just go around the table and see what crystals speak to you and pick it up. This is the time. Do not hesitate. You want to be able to go into the new year with a commitment to this side of your life. Because what's happening, you got a lot of friction. This is like your old self, your lower self fighting your higher self. We're not really fighting, but they're in conflict. Okay? And that's because you're ignoring your true calling. You're ignoring this side of yourself, this darkness this dark being, this dark power, is followed by the heat. They're both by this friction and heat. This is like the rebirth. This is like I look at this as like the phoenix, from Harry Potter, the phoenix that can rebirth from fire. That's what's happening here. But it really takes your commitment. And like I said, this daily message is get serious. And this message also speaks to myself. I know that I've been being called, and of course you guys might say, oh, well, you already in your calling. I'm not, though. I've been baby stepping it. But this message is just as clear to me as it is for the collective. It's time to get serious. It's time to get initiated, if that's what you've been looking into getting into. It's a time to really sit down. It's time to give up alcohol, if you know that's what you need to get out of your vices. It's time to really take a firm grasp on your vices and let them go, because they are holding you back. It's time to get serious about your health, if that's something that all of these things are going to help bring you into 2020. I don't know about you, but 2020 is going to be the ish, okay? But like all things, you got to put in the work. So this is time to put in the work. Do it now. Do not procrastinate. Do it now. And if you need help, there are plenty of people on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. Of course, research them. I am available if you're curious about certain stuff. I am, like I said, I'm hosting part of me getting serious is hosting my first event, December 7th. The link is going to be in the description box, okay? Sign up for that. It's $20. That's what most people spend on McDonald's for the week. Come in. Let's start this spiritual journey, this magical journey together, okay? And so that's our message for the day. Get serious about your spiritual side. Get serious so you can give birth to that inner God or goddess in you, okay? I love you guys so much. Peace and ashe.